Ooh, which city?
We're still in Vegas.
Oh, okay. Yeah, day after the Olympia, you might as well do something, you know?
Yeah, yeah. We got up and hit the gym this morning and smashed some legs, and now we're just we let them rest for a little bit before we go walk around.
How did it feel training legs after walking around on them all weekend?
I was not very strong.
No,
No,
no.
I mean we've been walking like crazy because the lifts and Ubers are so expensive out here too. So like we'll
Mm,
walk like a mile and a half and then call the lift,
yeah.
and it'll be like $7-8 cheaper. Plus we're getting our
Oh,
steps in because I'm eating whatever you know.
yeah. Yeah.
It'll be like throughout the day it's mostly protein, and then in the evening it's like whatever goes.
Well, we talked about it offline or off air. I'll pull up that massive meal you had. Uh, walk us through. Walk it. My girlfriend has mentioned to me how often I say the phrase "Now walk me through." So I apologize if that's like my new catchphrase. But walk us through what the heck is going on with this meal.
Dude, I don't know. We were looking for a good burger near us, and we found this place. They had good reviews, and then we get there, and I see this challenge, like burger challenge, on the menu. So I just said, "What the hell?" Honestly, it was like if you fail it, it was $50, and each burger
Oof.
was like $18 anyways. So I was
Yeah.
like, "Well, I'm saving money technically because it was four of their specialty burgers stacked on top of each other, all different. One had like two grilled cheese as the buns. One had a glazed donut as the buns. One was like it was just a bunch of different stuff, and then like 2 pounds of fries. And you had an hour to finish it, but I didn't plan it at all. I had already had 5 meals that day, so it wasn't very smart. I ended up
Wow.
I couldn't finish all the fries.
Just dripping in sweat.
Oh yeah. And when you're not allowed to go to the bathroom while you're doing it, so I was like, after for the four burgers, I was like, if I put these fries down, I'm gonna be in trouble. Yeah, the little ab check afterwards.
Of course, as bodybuilders do, got to check
Yeah,
that carb pump.
yeah. Oh, we walked around to like shopping after that for her, and like I'm looking in the mirrors, and my veins are just exploding everywhere every time every store
Oh,
we
I
went in.
bet. Yeah, huge pumps, and you're like,
Yeah,
man, I should go train some arms.
right.
I hit arms bis and tries like I don't know an hour ago, and it was the first time my girlfriend was ever with me while I was training arms, and I'm not a pro bodybuilder, but my arms are pretty huge compared to hers, and she was like she always bites. I don't know if you guys can see like my the bruises, but she always bites me on my arm. And she went to bite it, and the arm was so pumped full of blood that she couldn't get a hold of it. And I was like, yes, I still got it. She's about to throw a grape at me. Oh man! But Jason, we have not talked since Legion. How is Legion, and what is the strategy going on now?
Oh man. So I've talked to a few people about this, but I haven't. I don't. Besides on my own YouTube channel, I haven't
Yeah,
talked with anybody online about it. I actually got. I was in the hospital for 5 days during the last 2 weeks of prep.
really?
Yeah, I got rhabdo 2 weeks out.
That's
So
serious.
yeah, so I probably should have pulled out of the show, but I was too stubborn, and I was like, I'm gonna finish what I started. The doctors gave me the green light. They're like, we did blood work 3 times in the last 2 weeks of prep. They scanned my liver, my kidneys. Everything came back super healthy. So they really couldn't even tell me why it happened. Like they're like, usually with these numbers of like ammonia and CK levels, it's somebody that's like having liver or kidney issues. And my liver and kidneys all came back super healthy. My blood work was so shockingly good for 2 weeks out. So
Right.
I really don't know. I think my theory is it came from obviously overtraining, undersleeping, and then I got 2 sessions of Graston done that week,
Sure.
which is
Yep.
the metal tool scraping over the muscles, and I think that just
Yep.
released so many toxins at once that it was because it was the next day after the second session that I was in the hospital,
Wow.
and yeah, so that kind of ruined my look. I was I was really at 2.5 weeks out about on track to bring my best ever. I was probably going to be 10 pounds heavier than last year,
Mm.
better conditioning, and then everything just went downhill
Yeah.
after that. And I was only a couple pounds heavier than last year and in worse conditioning. You
Yep.
know, I couldn't train the last 2 weeks. I couldn't do like real cardio. It was more like walking the dog,
Uh-huh.
you know, just I couldn't push myself. The doctor was like, "You're healthy. You can do the show. Just you have to do it naturally. You have to stay hydrated." So I'm like, I couldn't put water. Yeah. So yeah, it was a rough one, but at least I'm healthy, and I just got to take it easy for a little while, and then probably do something late next year.
Yeah. And for as I pull up the footage you have for that show, walk walk us through. Share with us what the what is rhabdo for those who doesn't know.
So, like rhabdomyolysis, the actual translation is like rhabdo, skeletal, myo, muscle, lysis, rupture. So it's this rupturing of the skeletal muscle cells. And that releases, I mean, you'll see how shaky I am in this. I was shaky. I was like super soft from the back.
Oh yeah, wow.
Um, but
You
it's
stubborn
the
ox.
rupturing of the skeletal muscle cells, and it releases all the myoglobin and all the insides of the cells into the bloodstream so fast that the liver and kidneys can't filter it, and then that turns to ammonia. The ammonia poisons the brain. It can poison the kidneys, the liver. Like, so my wife got home, and I was just not mentally there.
Yeah.
Ammonia was so high in my bloodstream that the doctor said normally that where my numbers were, the person's in a coma.
That's insane. I can't. Yeah. Wow. I can't believe
So
you got on stage with that.
yeah, that's what everyone keeps saying. They're like, dude, why did you do the show? Like, they're like, I don't know if I should be impressed and like, or just think you're an idiot.
Are you self-coached right now?
Right now, so I was with
Well, that makes sense.
I was with Cement Factory for this whole prep.
Oh. Oh,
Um,
really?
yeah, but then when that happened 2 weeks out, he didn't want me to do the show, and we had little, you know, different
Disagreement.
ideas about the way to go about things, and I just told, we ended on good terms. I just said, I think he's a very intelligent person. He gets results.
Yeah.
He cares for his athletes. But I was just like, look, I don't want you to feel responsible for my decision. I'll finish this myself. I know it's not going to be my best after everything that happened, but I'm going to do the best under the circumstances. And then he doesn't want to coach any open pro bodybuilders anymore, anyways. I was the
Oh,
only one he
interesting.
had. He's got some classic guys. He's got some men's physique guys, I think. But yeah, he doesn't really want to do any more open pros. So
Mm.
now
Any specific reason with that?
I didn't ask.
Yeah. It's
I'm
just
not
something he
sure.
said.
Yeah, so I'm coaching
Probably.
myself for now because I'm going to take a good while off anyways,
Yeah.
and when I decide about competing again, I don't know if I'll coach myself or if I'll reach out to somebody. I haven't decided yet.
Hmm.
I mean, I coached myself to turn pro. I coached myself for my first two pro shows. I didn't have a coach until my first Arnold Classic. So,
Mm.
I know how to do it, but my body's changed a lot since then. I was, 190 pounds back then.
Yeah. And now you're a competitive open pro.
Yeah. So, I think if with a good long like productive off season, or I'll say if I can have a key on off season, then I think I could come in the low 230s and I could win a pro show, an open show.
Yeah. Yeah. We definitely need to look at. I doubt they've announced the 2025 season yet. I'd have to
No, it's
look.
usually similar to the previous year.
Yeah, the same weekends ish.
Yeah. So I
They
don't know.
just
We'll
change the
see.
names.
We'll see how the next few months go, and if I could be ready for maybe Tampa or Texas or something. If not, then we'll see.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna be take it easy for not stress about anything for the next couple months and just
Yeah.
keep training and eating and
Get your
whatever
head down
happens.
and just
Yeah,
focus.
focus on my health, and I think with better, like, make sure my gut health, just everything's in check, my body will start responding better too.
Mm-hmm. So you're saying more of like a health phase right now?
Yeah. Well,
now what does the health phase look like for you? Because when I was talking with Tonio, I'm still a natural athlete. I don't know anything. I'm an idiot. When Tonio said it, like he said he completely cut everything off after Brazil, and then he didn't add anything for like 2 months, 3 months.
Yeah, that's typically what I do about every year. I think I was actually
like full natty.
I was probably 100% off for almost 6 months last year.
That's insane.
Yeah. So
I always thought people just slammed like test and growth in the off season because that's when you need to grow.
Most do. You're not wrong.
Most do. Oh, okay.
I came off and I didn't try and push my weight up crazy high last year, and I responded so much better when I started prep. So
that probably makes something the same situation with like caffeine and pre-workout.
Yeah,
the overstimulation and stuff.
So
or desensitization. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, this time there's other reasons for coming off completely too, though. So for me right now, it's just blasting HCG, HMG, and Clomid. It's health phase / baby making phase.
I was just gonna say, I'm pretty sure it sounds like Flex Lewis's baby making protocol.
Yeah, so we'll
or Palumbo's, right?
we're gonna try. So fingers crossed on that one. But
add a baby to the dog farm.
Yeah, it seems to be the popular thing to do these days.
You start with dogs, and then next thing you know, you have babies. Yep.
Yeah. So
well, we just started. Me and my girl started dating 4 or 5 months ago. 5 months ago, and we have cats. So.
Oh yeah.
I think we need to upgrade to dogs, and then I'll probably have to add some hardware.
Oh
and
yeah,
then,
you might have to do that.
Yeah. Make an honest woman out of her. Man, how was switching gears to the Olympia? How was this year's Olympia? I was not there, unfortunately.
I mean, it was good. The expo was fun. I feel like it was maybe a little bit smaller because they did it weird. Like all the other events besides powerlifting were on a different floor.
Really?
Yeah. So
they weren't in the expo.
Yeah, like they had some powerlifting stuff and maybe a couple other things down in the expo, and then there was a second floor where they had like all the jiu-jitsu stuff and like all those other like different things.
You can't do that because
no,
you gotta have that stuff.
Even know. Like
you're not gonna know unless you just bump into it.
Scott from bodybuilding, old school bodybuilding.
Old school, yeah.
He told us that today when I was talking to him, and I was like, I didn't even know there was a second level. So all those
That's a huge
never walked around to the booths because they weren't even on the same floor.
Yeah.
So it seemed smaller. It was just split up, and we didn't even know there was a second level. But the actual show was good. I mean, it was an insane show. A lot of crazy things happened.
Mm-hmm. This was a very, very exciting Olympia.
Yeah. I mean, got the retirement from some people. You got some new champions.
Yeah, Cassandra Gillis, 8-time figure, I think. Yeah, she retired. And then
no, not Cassandra Gillis. Cassandra Gillis
or Sydney Gillis.
Sydney yeah.
Yeah. She 8-time. And then she retired.
Cassandra Gillis, I think, is a wellness athlete.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yep, she is. She's like Brazilian, I think. I think she got second or third, actually.
She was somewhere in the top 5, I think.
Yeah. I remember she won the Arnold Classic, I thought.
Yeah.
In wellness. When we look at the, let's see, fitness, I didn't cover any of the women's divisions this year. I specifically was like open 212 Classic.
Well, fitness, you had
Missy, right?
Missy Truscott make a comeback from her injury and win. She looked insane standing up there.
She always, she looks phenomenal. Always wins the posing rounds.
Oh yeah,
or the physique rounds.
She could enter a figure show and win that.
She could. I bet she could. I'd love to see it.
Yeah, with the injury, who knows? She might. If
she can't keep up with the routines
for the longevity of her career, she might. She's got the physique for it.
Because then it would be her versus Sarah Villegas.
Yeah.
That would be good. Or that's physique, I guess.
And Natalia Cuejo.
Yeah,
that's
Natalia.
women's physique. Who? Yeah,
Figures. Padilla, I think, was second place. Jessica Padilla.
Yeah, I think so. You're right.
Yeah, and she's the Masters Olympia champion too. So she's phenomenal.
Yeah.
It's so funny. I don't cover the sports, but I still know all the people's names. Wild.
Yo,
what's
Xavier
up?
Willis.
What's happening, man?
What's going on?
Destopus.
Willis. It's Wills.
Oh, yeah. Wills.
Everyone calls me Willis or Wilkes or some variation of Wills.
Weird.
Yeah.
That's a first for me.
How are you, Jason?
I haven't had a lot of carbs today.
I'm good. How's it going?
Good, man. Good. I feel like I'm coming down from like a high from the Olympia, pretty much. Because it was cool to see Samson win, man.
Yeah?
I was so happy for him.
Dude, I was at the gas house for the watch party, and everyone went nuts. It was crazy.
Yeah, that's cool. Did everyone? What was the consensus of what people thought there? Did people think that Hardy was going to win, or did they think Samson? Or
so after prejudging, I had Samson. I had it picked exactly how it went: Samson, Hardy, Derek. And then after the confirmation round at finals, I was like, I thought Martin might move ahead of Derek.
yeah, well, they compared him in the middle, didn't they?
I mean,
Yeah, they did.
And I thought Martin won more shots than Derek did.
Yeah.
So
I'm sure a lot of people are going to do side by sides in that
dude,
for sure.
That was an incredible Olympia debut. I mean, fourth place at your Olympia debut, and then battling it out with the current champ.
Yeah.
How high did you have Xavier? How high did you have Martin in your predictions?
I had him 5th, so I was one spot off.
You had him 5th?
So that's the thing. People,
I had him in 6th.
I actually predict anytime I predict Martin in a high placing, and people say, "Oh, you're crazy. Nah, Martin's not going to be there." He always exceeds it. Like the time he did Texas against Andrew Jack, that was a big lineup. People forget there was Steve Kuklo in there, there was Quentin Araya, there was Kamalo Gagni.
Yeah.
A lot of really good bodybuilders in there, and I predicted him to be 3rd, I think, and then he placed 2nd. And people said I was predicting him 3rd because I was a fanboy or something like that. And I'm like, I actually predicted him too low. So yeah, it's cool to see him exceed expectations.
I felt so bad with I was watching like the Bro Chat podcast or whatever, and they were doing predictions for the Legion, and I was watching it, and like Ben put me in 3rd, and somebody else put me in 3rd. Paul had me in 5th. And I was laying in a hospital bed watching it, and I'm like, "Oh, I feel so bad."
Dude, what exactly happened with that, man? I know you obviously you were looking great in the lead up, and I was of the same opinion. I was like, "Wow, you're going to do incredible in this show." What happened, bro? Like, have you come this?
I got grabbed 2 weeks out.
Oh, dude, yeah, just
so yeah. So I was telling Snot I probably should have pulled out, but I was just too stubborn, and I just wanted to finish what I started. But I couldn't train. I couldn't do cardio the last 2 weeks. I had 5 days in the hospital eating whatever they fed me.
Oh, dude.
So everything just kind of went downhill on those last 2 weeks.
Oh, that's brutal. That's brutal. Especially when you prep so hard. That's got to be like, at least though, like how you were looking. Like you know you can. I think you can really mix it up in the opens, man. Like and it's.
I was on track to come in like 10 pounds heavier this year in better shape. And then it just all went downhill. And I ended up like 2 pounds heavier in worse shape.
Oh, man. I'm so sorry about that. But, yeah, I saw the lead up. Everyone saw it. So, yeah, next year maybe.
Next year, yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I had you in 3rd. I can't remember.
Yeah, it happens. It was a lesson learned, and I learned a lot from it. I didn't know much about the symptoms and stuff like that before this, and now at least I know what to look out for me and for my clients.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's not something that you necessarily look into until it happens or happens to someone close to you, and then like I got what we call like mono or we call it glandular fever here, and that knocks you out, and then you realize what it is, and you're like, oh, okay, it can be this for this person, but this for this person. It's like,
yeah, it was
what
rough.
is it? Glandular mono.
What do you guys call it? Do you guys call it mono over there?
I don't know. I know we have something called mono.
Yeah, I think that's what we call glandular fever.
Oh,
So basically, it just wrecks you. Like you it sort of feels like a flu at the start.
Some kid disappeared in high school.
Yeah, it was me and an ex-partner both got it at the same time. So she got it. She actually got it for like 2 to 3 weeks initially. Wasn't that bad. She got over it, and then it was like 5 months later we both just got it really bad, and we had full body itchiness. So there's yeah, it can get into like your liver and things like that, and and doctors don't necessarily know that well as well, because it's a very specific sort of symptom from it. But yeah, my ex, like, we both had the same symptoms. We couldn't sleep. She went to hospital for like 2 to 3 weeks. It was wild. But anyway, that's another story for another day. But it's months. It's months. It's not like a 2 week, 3 week thing. It's like for me, it was like the first time, 5 months. Like, I stopped personal training.
That was with the rhabdo. Ross Flanagan reached out to me whenever I posted that I had it, and he was like mind blown that I was back to like working out and doing things, because he's like, dude, I was out for like a month or so whenever he got it.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, the doctors gave me the green light. They said everything was healthy. My blood work was good. My kidneys, my liver was good. So
yeah,
I just got to kind of take it a little easy.
I was wondering if rhabdo was sort of the same, because that's got to be something similar to like glandular fever. Like, I don't even know too much about it.
Yeah, I mean, I already explained it, so I don't want to go too much into people listening. But it was it's basically just overtraining and rupturing the muscle cells. So stuff spills into the bloodstream so fast that your liver and kidneys can't filter it, and then you get ammonia in your blood, and it like poisons your brain.
I just realized I have looked into that before. Obviously, there's probably like varying degrees of it as well. Like, Ross probably had it like real messed up, where he's like, "How could you do that?" You know, I don't know. Yeah, credit to you, man. Obviously, you got that like that that sort of like nutcase bodybuilder mentality where you just push through it.
Yeah, a little bit.
That's what he was saying. Yeah.
My wife wasn't very happy with me. She didn't want me to do the show, and she's like, "No." We had to get her a last-minute ticket to fly out with me, because she's like, "You're not staying out there alone."
Yeah.
That's the last thing you want, to be alone in the hotel.
Yeah.
Holy cow! Now, Jason, did you ever get to see the prejudging or finals or in person?
Not in person, no. I was at the Gas House watch party for both of the.
We'll make sure we hook you up next year, like I did last year.
Dude, there was
those
no
tickets are crazy
available.
expensive.
It was but I mean, it was cool watching it over at the Gas House. Like, they cook out for everybody, and then you're around everyone that's like full of energy watching the show.
Yeah, that sounds cool.
It's got to be like the similar kind of energy,
dude. Because when the Olympia finished, the Olympia finished here, and I'm here by myself on the other side of the world, and I was like, what do I do now? Like, it finished, and my stream finished, and I did my post Olympia one, and then after that, I was like, I had all this like energy. I'm like, well, I can't call Samson, he's too busy, but like, that's the dude I want to like give a call to him about, bro. But obviously, you know that's. And I even said to him before the Olympia, I said, dude, no pressure from me. I said, if we don't talk for a couple of months after the Olympia, if you win, I said, that's all good with me, bro, because I know everyone will be like wanting a piece of Samson right now. So I'm like, dude, don't stress, you know. So, but yeah, it was weird. It was weird finishing the Olympia and just having no one to really celebrate with. So, but yeah, it was. That's definitely the best environment. But dude, do you think they should put it on in a? Jake's talked about putting it on in a stadium. Now, I know you won't get the best views, but at least you'll have you can have some big screens put everywhere, and at least if the vibe's good, like, you can sell the seats like right up the back for way less, you know. But if you pack out a stadium, I think they could do it, you know.
I mean, they sold out in 3 days for this.
How many seats was it? Do you know?
Why not go bigger then?
I'm not sure.
They used to sell at the Orleans, you know, in the end. That was like, what, 10,000, 11?
Yeah, that would be pretty crazy in a stadium.
Yeah, it'd be insane, because you could make it a whole big thing. Like, if it's in a stadium, then it becomes like a bigger event. Like, if you have an event that's 10,000 people attending, that's big. If you have an event that has 40,000 people attending, or 30,000 or whatever, because they wouldn't even need to sell out the full stadium to make it worthwhile, because they put on football games where it's a 40,000 or 50,000 seat stadium, but they only sell 10, 20,000 or whatever. So that wouldn't be that much of an issue in terms of costs. I actually think the stadium thing wouldn't be probably that much more expensive, really.
Yeah, that'd be interesting.
But and Jake also spoke about putting it on in the Sphere too. But he said basically it's about, I think he said it's about $10 to $12 million to get your foot in the door. But I put in the group before, if you sell tickets for an average ticket price, I think it seats about 20,000 in there, or 21,000. If you sell 20,000 tickets to prejudging, 20,000 tickets to finals, but if they do morning and night as well, I mean, if you did 20,000 to all of them, and as an average ticket price of that, you would sell 60 million in tickets. But that would be if you sold 4 shows worth of it. But I mean, if you could, I would be willing to pay whatever amount to go to the Olympia in the Sphere. I'd pay thousands, like several thousand, because imagine having like literally up on those screens, you can have it so it's like almost 3D looking, like the bodybuilder's coming at you and filming that at the same time. They just need a new film crew for the Olympia, that's all. But they could do some epic stuff in this field. With bodybuilding specifically.
Man.
Like they did the UFC, which was epic, but I think with bodybuilding it'd be just another level.
Yeah. Yeah, the camera crew was, I don't know, it was a net positive. I thought that overall it was good, but there was a lot of things that I feel like they should have tested beforehand. There was a lot of complacency. Now, I've never ran a show. That's going to be one of my goals this year is to like work with a promoter to be part of something. Probably a small NPC show in Northern California. I made that decision when I woke up this morning. Like, I can't talk shit if I'm not doing anything to make it better. Yeah. And if I don't know how to do it, I can't give real feedback. So that's something I'm going to work on this year. But you look at, and I don't know if you guys know, but when they have those guys get on stage, is that the very first time the camera crew sees somebody in tan on that stage? Or do they bring people in beforehand to see how it looks?
On the main stage?
Do they test the live stream to see how it looks?
I would guess that it's probably the first time they see someone actually fully tanned on stage.
It seems so risky for how much money goes into it.
Yeah.
That they're just hoping it looks good on the live stream.
Because I've been at some other shows, like, in the Daytona Pro, where they've asked me, like, because I'm friends with the promoter and stuff, and he'll ask me to just, hey, Jason, hop up on stage and hit a couple shots. I'm pale as can be. I'm not competing. I'm no tan. And they're like trying to adjust the lighting for that.
That's hard, yeah. I would literally pay someone. I'll give you $200, $300, whatever. Here, take this money, or pay like 4 people. Like, hey, I'm going to pay like a dark skinned guy, a white guy, and I don't know, whatever. That's all you need, really, isn't it?
An Arab guy.
And then you put them on stage and you say, I'm tan up properly, like you want someone who's in shape. Do it that way. And someone with a bit of muscle too that can look 3D as well, that will have the same shadows. And then do it that way, like the day before or whatever. Because you can only obviously hire the venue for so long. They can't just roll in, several times weeks prior. I'm sure they have like run-throughs or something. I don't know how that works exactly, like through the week. But yeah, you can test it. And it's such a vital part of it. And obviously, like, the people that run the Olympia that are there, they're not seeing that. They're seeing what happens at the venue, on the day, at the time. Yeah. Everyone in the venue's happy, all that sort of stuff. Like, and they'll see that this year as well, because it was ran at a much better time. The finals was like, there wasn't much, like, lag. Because I was waiting for that lag to have a break, and I'm like, oh, no. Well, the bikini was only on for, like, 10 minutes? What? And I was like, oh, that's crazy. So that was so much better. So I have to take my hat off to the Olympia crew for doing that. And look, prejudging for the Classic, it was long. Wasn't as long as last year. Like, they still sped it up a bit, and I think they did it right that way. So I can't hang crap on the Olympia at all. And I think Jay's protest definitely. I actually wonder, to be honest, did Jay's protest have the Olympia speed things up a little bit, because they're like, if we run this long now, we are gonna cop it. So I wonder if there's some sort of a thing there, because there's a lot of talk of it. I wonder if they're just like, hey guys, we need to just make sure this doesn't go for longer than X amount of time.
If somebody like Jay Cutler makes it a priority, then I feel like Tyler and Jake and whoever else is in that team, Tamer, those guys are probably okay. Jay Cutler is telling us something. Let's probably apply that. If I'm saying something, maybe not. But maybe if enough of us say something. Oh, I was like, holy cow. You know what? I'm so happy you mentioned that, because I took a picture of, I think it was Martin who was posing. Oh, no, it was Mike Sommerfeld.
Yeah, they're putting a show on, It's all right. It's a little bit,
I saw this. This is a nice backdrop. This is not too busy. This is...
Yeah. Yeah, because you could... When Samson got put in the middle and it was like black behind him, like, I was like, man, this is hurting him. Like, you can't see half of what he's showing. But I guess it was probably completely different in person. Because on the screen, I'm like, yeah.
Oh, really? Yeah, so Yeah, because they definitely did. Yeah, and this doesn't count because this is Gilco, but it's still. Oh, the backdrop. Yeah, this is pretty hectic stuff going on. A lot of colors. And the filters are insane. I don't know if it's the actual lighting or what, but way too shiny. Oh. Yeah. Yep. Yep. Yeah, when you bump up that exposure, it gets really grainy. Unless I'm assuming Gilco isn't shooting on auto everything, so he's probably adjusting on the fly with his different apertures and whatnot. But this is good. I'm wondering. Sure. Yeah, they probably cooked it in post just to make it seeable. Yeah, it's still really grainy. Oh, yeah, when Bonac flew out of nowhere, I was like, holy cow. Yeah, I mean, when Samson got up, he was like kind of holding his shoulder, so I assumed he was like, oh shit, Bonac must have hit a delt or something. Yeah, I kind of had a feeling this was going to happen, but I was like, this is the most exciting decision if they put Samson for the win, because next year you'd have 3 different Olympians, Mr. Olympias, battling it out. I just didn't think they had the balls to do it.
4 if you count Brandon still.
Ninth place. I mean, unless he comes back crazy good next year.
Yeah, I'm just saying he's still there.
Yes, definitely. And then if Rami ever comes back, who knows? Probably
that would be insane to have 5 Mr. Olympias on the stage.
Damn, yeah, you were busy, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I
Before
agree
you head
with
out,
everything you said pretty much with the judging. Like there were a couple guys I could have seen it go either way, one spot either way maybe, but like no complaints with what they did. Yeah. Well,
yes.
Samson and Hottie were tied at prejudging. Yeah.
That's interesting. Derek was third across the board.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm. He can't nail prejudging.
Yeah.
Yep. Final thoughts, Xavier. Him confirming he's doing the Arnold Classic. Good move, bad move, great move for bodybuilding.
Great move.
Yep. Mm. 100%. Yeah. Fuad's a real hard ass, so. Yes. Yep. I don't see why not. Someone's going to host it. Yeah. Maybe throw the Pittsburgh in an extra 100K. Or does he do a Dubai? Dubai's going to have more money, right? Shut it down.
Dubai's in the middle of the year. That's just bad timing.
Oh, it is in the middle. Okay, never mind.
Yeah.
I got to like print the schedule next year. Yep.
Yeah, it's something like that.
It can't be much more than that.
Actually,
yeah.
I think they changed it this year. I think it's maybe like, I think it's closer. I'm not sure.
See, that's crazy because there's a lot of big shows in that time frame.
Yeah, because he couldn't get the same venue this year. I think it's closer, but I'm not sure.
I don't think
could be
they have
wrong.
the schedule out yet. Have they announced
Oh,
officially
that's
what they're
I
going
was
to do?
thinking about, yeah.
Because Fuad and
I was
Paul
thinking-
were talking
about
it.
Detroit. Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. I gotta imagine his body needs some rest, though. He's done so much. Yeah. Chill. Yeah.
Yeah, this was this year's schedule.
All right, man.
Appreciate you coming on.
Good talking to you. For sure, man.
Hopefully weekly. Yeah, see you, brother.
All right.
Yeah, it definitely will be interesting to see how many shows Samson does, as well as does Hottie does the same. Is Hottie going to do the same strategy he did this year
What's
with
Derek going to do since he's not the champ anymore?
Derek needs to make a statement too. So
Derek
does
He's only ever done one show that wasn't the Olympia.
Well, does Derek have to do something, or does he do a Curry and just dial it in and just show up and hope better?
He doesn't have to, but it's just like he's only ever done one show besides the Olympia. I think he's killing his stock by not competing. Yeah, like get out there, man. Like win some shows. He would win shows easy, obviously.
Oh yeah.
So like go out there, win some of the bigger shows, and I don't know. I don't know why he wouldn't.
I couldn't imagine him. I could not imagine him not doing New York, or maybe he does the Arnold.
Pittsburgh. Now that I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, that's a little bit of money, but I can't imagine the top dogs doing Pittsburgh. He's just going to go in there and win a show against.
I don't know if
people not in the top 6, top 5.
Pittsburgh's such a Jim Mannion show.
Yeah, but Men's Open is there now, so
that's what I'm saying.
You're not going to have people going there. Yeah, Men's Open's there this year, $100,000 for the winner.
Yeah.
So you're not going to have out of shape top 6, top 5 guys guest posing.
That's true.
You're only going to have. You're going to have the hunter, the hungry guys, the hunters, I guess Martin's a top 4 guy. Good Lord. You're going to have those guys jumping into that show to get that money, get the qualification, have the Manions see them. Yeah. You're not going to have. I don't think you're going to have Derek's or Samson's or Hottie's doing that show.
I mean, it is a good paycheck too. What'd they say? $100,000 for the
$100,000 for the winner. Yeah.
I mean. But anyway, either way, if I was Derek, I would want some. It's just by my personality, but knowing that I could go win most shows I do, like I would go and get some titles under my belt. I want to say I won the New York Pro. I want to say I won the Pittsburgh Pro. That he won the Tampa, right? Or was it? Yeah, and that's all he ever did. I think.
Yeah, like
the only show he's ever done is the Tampa, like a week after he turned pro.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's been the Olympia every time.
Yep. Yeah, I've never been a fan of I try to always remember that I have nothing personal against the athletes themselves, but the idea that this guy's never qualified for the Olympia, but he's a Mr. Olympia champion always blows my mind, where I'm like,
right?
Something just ain't right about it,
Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
So, I suppose looking at the schedule, I don't know, does he stay in prep right now and just crushes a couple pro shows? Something like, let's see, November, October. So you got
Romania,
Prague in November.
Oh, is there Prague?
Yeah, Prague. Oh, and Romania. Romania is November 9th, and then you have Prague November 16th. So if he wanted to go on a little European vacation with the baby and the wife,
yeah,
knock out Romania and Prague, kind of like how Samson did last year.
Yeah.
That could be kind of a cool little thing.
Upset a few people that are trying to get an early qualification.
Uh-huh. Yeah. I doubt he would stay there for Big Man December 1st. But yeah, he could knock out 2 pro shows right there and just be like, hey, I'm qualified legitimately. I am a contender. And then he needs to take the hard off season, get the chest harder, get the midsection harder and tighter and thicker. The midsection, there's just not a lot of detail in that midsection. He fixes those 2 things, he's deadly. And a little more thickness with the legs. Is it the front or the back that
quads,
need work?
I would say the
or is
quads
it both?
Most. Yeah. Like his quads looked a little bit downsized this time. I didn't see much detail. I don't know. But for some reason, he just didn't seem to have that wow factor that he had the last couple of years when he walked out. Even the back shots, it's like, I think it was mostly because Samson and Hottie were more improved, but it didn't blow anyone away,
Yeah, I wouldn't argue that at all. Let's see here. So this was prejudging. I just feel like there's not a lot of pop in those legs.
Yeah.
There's a lot of detail, but it's not. You know what I'm saying? Like you can see it, but I feel like if you went up there and grabbed those quads, well, that too. Yeah, the upper body's huge and full.
Yeah, it just doesn't match the upper body. I can't remember who did it, but I saw somebody post Hottie's legs on Derek's body in this pose, and I was like, now that's an Olympia champion.
Oh, that's probably a superset man. He's always doing the Frankenstein stuff.
Yeah, I don't remember who it was, but I saw it and I was like, holy crap, that looks good. And those are Hottie's legs.
Yeah. And there's no point of even looking at the side stuff because he looks amazing from the...
Yeah, the side shots were good. And his back is freaky still, but it didn't blow anyone away this year.
Yeah. Yeah, let's look at the back for a second. I did not do any comparisons with Derek, so I don't have the photos on prep.
Can I use your charger?
It's definitely going to be a thing later. Probably tomorrow I'll do some more comparisons. So I got you now, and then I got Tonio right after this. And then that's it for the day. It's board game night. And maybe we'll have our first meal today. I think it's been nothing but like liquid.
Oh, jeez.
I know. I lost a bet, so now I have to prep for a show in next year. So I need to start actually like getting my body used to eating real food.
Got to get serious.
Uh-huh. Maybe like hop on like 500 milligrams of test just to start with, and you know, terrible. Tempting, but I don't know. I have no illusion of being a professional.
Yeah, I mean, I did it. I turned pro natural, like without ever touching any gear or anything like that. And then afterwards, I was like, okay, I'm a pro. I got to do what the pros do to keep up with them. But, you know, if I was doing it just for a hobby or whatever like that, I was like, I'm not going to get on that stuff and push anything and ruin my health.
That's my thought. You know, I want to be a professional commentator, media guy for the pro league. I don't want to step on stage as an athlete. I feel like that's not my calling.
Wrong with you at some point, if you need like to get on a TRT dose or something, that wouldn't be bad. But
I'd love to look like I actually lift. You know, get rid of the hamburger titties and have like a nice hard stomach. That'd be great.
Yeah.
Even when I was super lean, I still had like a lot of like hard nipple like fat there. So I've always wondered if that's gonna be if that's gyno or because like
I mean,
there's
plenty of cases where you get gyno naturally, like just through puberty. Yeah. So because it's never know.
It's really hard when you squeeze it. As I'm just sitting here squeezing my nipples, talking with you.
Yeah, if you squeeze it and there's like a hard lump in there, that it probably is. You might have just gotten it through puberty or something, or you know, there's other ways. You could just have gone through an imbalance in your hormones. It happens.
You should probably have a professional look at it.
I know a few people that got the military to pay for it, their surgeries.
Yeah. I should look into that.
Yeah, because I spent $7,000 on mine. Yeah.
I mean, if women are getting breast implants for the Army, paying for it, and they're getting their peepees chopped off for free, like, you know, hook a guy up with some normal-looking chest.
One of the guys I used to coach, he got it done because he said that when he had to put his gear on for the military, it would hurt his nipples and stuff, and it was painful. And so they paid for the surgery.
That's actually a great... I'll have to write that down.
Yeah.
Well, actually, we're getting close to the top of the hour. We don't need to stay on too long. Usually I have like 4 guys on here, and we're all arguing about something trivial. Final thoughts on the Open. Let me pull up some footage of Hottie and those guys. I heard people say Hottie was not as good as last year.
I heard a lot of people saying he was downsized. I heard people saying that it looked like he was missing some tricep. Like one of his triceps just was like missing almost. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know if maybe they tried to. I mean, he still looks great. You can't argue with that. But
yeah, these photos don't tell you anything.
Yeah.
We got a Samson. Oh, there's Hottie. I heard. I think Mark was talking about this left leg. The quad is much more.
Yeah.
Is a lot smaller. Like noticeably.
I wonder if it's that whole side, if it's the left leg and the left arm.
Oh, yeah. Because he also said there was a lat going on too. The lat was smaller. You know what? Yeah, maybe it's the whole left side. Maybe there's like a CNS issue.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Something in the nerves. I don't know.
Okay, well now I'm gonna have to do like an actual deep dive and
Yeah.
take the photos and flip them. And
I thought
I always
looked
like looking
great,
at the
but I
outlines of these guys.
I didn't think he looked as wow factor as the Arnold Classic.
Okay.
Yeah. But he still looked phenomenal. I mean, obviously he still got second place. He beat Derek.
Yep.
So but
yeah, I kind of had a feeling Derek was
prejudging, I had my prediction of Samson, Hottie, and then Derek. So
yeah, I think I had
went the way I expected.
Hottie, Samson, Derek, but such an exciting results.
Yeah,
I think that's really going to set up
physique. I know we're talking about open bodybuilding, but classic. I think that's the first time we've seen Chris get nervous on stage.
Yeah, did you see him step into the box trying to get close to those guys?
Yeah, Summerfield brought it, dude.
Yeah, Summerfield looked phenomenal. Let's
Yeah,
finish up with some classic
leapfrog.
talk.
What was he, 5th last year or something? Or?
He was 5th, and then he was 8th last year, and then 5th the year before that.
Yeah, dude, that's insane. And then he took a point from Chris, which means if they're throwing out the top 2 and the bottom 2 scores, multiple people had him beating Chris,
which is insane, you know?
Because he took 1 point off. It was like 9-6.
That's just wild. I mean, I don't see it. I think Chris is just so Chris that it's hard to compare people when the standard is Chris.
Yeah,
but now Chris is gone. So
I was like, man, I'm glad Chris won because of, it was his retirement and everything like that, and that's a great way to go out.
Yeah.
But putting that aside, I could have seen it go either way.
I think the world would have flipped upside down if Chris didn't win.
I was literally like, we're gonna see riots if that happens.
Yeah. But then Hottie looked so happy when he lost.
Yeah, but I don't know if you saw his post.
No, I didn't.
He always makes those very emotional, deep posts. And he was like, I feel like a failure, and, I let my country down, and all that.
Let's take a look.
So,
which one this?
Yeah, I mean, he's very emotional with his posts. Yeah, I can't remember which one it was, but it was... It's hard to translate everything, too, but... So who knows how well it's translated.
I can't imagine he's posting this. He's like... Unless he had somebody make this video for him, and then he just I don't know, maybe he's really tech savvy. Iranian wolf shepherd. Soldier of duty.
That's why I wonder how good the translation is.
It can't be very good. So I don't know if Iran speaks Farsi or which dialect, but yeah, there's no way that this translation is very good.
I think Hani Rambod speaks Farsi, and I think that's how he communicates with him.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he's just speaking verses right out of the Quran.
Yeah.
This isn't. This doesn't even mean anything. But
yeah,
I hope he takes it in stride and shows up to the Arnold Classic, Ohio, motivated.
Hey, look what he did last year.
Wow, what good packages he brought to those Arnolds.
Yeah.
So nice to see him on stage again.
Came back for redemption right after that, and it was the best we saw him probably, so he might do it again.
Yep. And to think about it, we've had, was it 6 new Olympia champions in the last 7 years?
Yeah, that's wild.
So I think we're truly in a
19 or 20 or in the history.
Yeah. We're definitely in a different era of the Mr. Olympia where I don't think you're going to see legacies. They're going to see battles for the next decade.
Yeah. Well, there's nobody there's nobody that's just that dominant. They're like, it literally, whoever shows up the best on that day, it could be between 6 different people.
Yeah, literally. I think in our predictions on the last episode of Bodybuilding and Friends that we're on right now, we had, let's see, me and Mark's Max Muscle had Derek winning. EP09 had Hottie winning. Project Bodybuilding had Hottie winning. Xavier from Desktop Bodybuilding, he had Andrew winning. I mean, you had a whole bunch of different people that could have won this year.
Yeah.
It's very exciting.
What if Nick would have been able to be in there?
What if
that would have
Nick
thrown
was
a wrench
there?
in things.
Yeah.
You know? I think if Nick like had been there and he was in shape like his last Olympia, I think he could have been second.
Sure. Yeah. He could have been above a soft Derek.
Yeah.
And then it's just two freaks, Hottie and Walker.
And it's whoever's in better shape, really.
Yep. And then Andrew kind of jumps above both of them because he's so contrasting.
Yeah, it would be so interesting. So, yeah, who knows what will happen next year?
Well, we have 12 months to get ready for it.
Yeah, well, hopefully I'm there too.
Yes. Yeah, well, regardless, you will be there either as an athlete or you'll be there as press.
Yeah, well, fingers crossed on the athlete, but I'll be happy to
I know, right?
Either way.
You would join the super ultra elite crew of 3-time Olympia contender in 3 different divisions.
Yeah, I don't know if there is a crew of that yet.
I don't think so.
I think I'd be the first. I'd have to start my own crew.
You need to have some custom shirts built for that.
I've already talked to Scott. He's gonna.
Scott's the man.
We're gonna start printing them soon. It's gonna be like the evolution of it's me hitting a classic physique pose, and then like a different pose in 212, and then like another pose as an open bodybuilder, and be like scaling it up a little bit, a little bigger in each one.
Yep.
Showing the evolution, like you know how the evolution charts of the monkeys growing into people.
Yes, I knew exactly what you were doing.
It'd be like a classic 212 open.
I could see that. Yeah. Yeah, we're going to definitely work with Scott over at Old School Bodybuilding Clothing Company for our Arnold Classic merch this coming year, the 2025 in Ohio. We'll be there. Hopefully Jason's there helping me out with the commentary. Who else? I don't know any other commentators that will be there outside like the big ones, you know, Ron Harris and those guys.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. Brant from CPC Bodybuilding, he might be there covering Classic. So we'll probably work with him a little bit. It's fun. It's a cool little niche in bodybuilding. Where's the camera? In the bodybuilding commentary where you have YouTubers kind of stepping into the role of journalists that, you know, the older guards slowly retiring, and there's a couple of guys left. You got Ron, you got Dave.
Yeah.
Who's the other guys? Muscle and Fitness. There's some guys with that. Yeah. But anywho, final thoughts, Jason?
I mean, final thoughts is it was just a very exciting show. A lot of cool things happening. You know, we got a new champion. We have a retired champion in Classic. You know, I'm excited to see what happens next year, you know, because this was in not just with the Olympia, just throughout the year. You know, the Arnolds, the new show, the shows they're, you know, promoting with more money now. Chris just made a post in the conference,
at the press conference,
he was going to start contributing money to grow the Classic division and put more money into it for the prize. So it's just awesome to see the sport growing and turning into something that people can make more money on, make a living off of, and, you know, get more out of it.
Yeah. Yeah, the Classic Physique prize money has been a joke for so long for how much attention and sales.
More than the Olympia still for a Classic.
Yeah, change needs to happen, and we're lucky that we have someone like Chris to help with it.
Yeah, so I'm excited. It's going to be good.
Absolutely. Well, Jason, thank you for joining us for another episode here on the Bodybuilding News Network for an installment of Bodybuilding and Friends. Look forward to, hopefully we can snag you next week as well for the next episode and try to make this a reoccurring entry for you.
For sure, yeah.
You want to shout out your sponsors and kind of what your plan is right now? Coaching, what do you got going on?
Yeah, I mean, well, the plan right now is to take a good long off season, focus on health, family, put on some more muscle, and then business as well. You know, I do coach. finalformphysiques@gmail.com if you want to reach out, or finalformphysiques on Instagram, or just Broku, IFBB Broku, and here's a link. And then Performex Labs for sponsors, and Iron Rebel. So that's pretty much it for me as far as that goes. But yeah.
Oh yeah. And shout out to Scott over at Old School Bodybuilding Clothing Company for his cool Olympia merch.
I
know I bought mine, but
Olympia specific. You can't see it, but it's on the back. The Olympia specific T-shirt. He made some pretty cool designs.
Yeah, he did pretty cool this year. I try to always make sure I buy them every year because the 2Xs sell out so quick.
Yeah, that's what I got 3X. So.
Oh, well, yeah. Well, you're a pro, so it's different. I'm just fat.
But I'm short.
Valid. We're probably close to the same. Well, no, you're probably, like 260 right now?
No, I just competed, and I've kept my diet besides having a couple big cheat meals. But I'm burning those off so quick walking around Vegas. I'm probably mid-230s right now.
Okay. So we're probably actually pretty close to the same weight then. Yeah, that's pretty funny. I'm probably like 229, 230.
Yeah, I say that, but I haven't stepped on a scale all week, so who knows? Maybe I'm 240. I don't know.
No,
you saw the burger I ate.
I saw it, but I saw the abs, so at least you have abs.
Yeah. When I was training legs today, and I started off with some extensions, and I'm like, I could see every muscle fiber still twitching in my quads. I'm like, oh man, it's still there.
Ooh,
maybe I could pull back down and do Romania.
Yeah, I was just gonna say Romania's only November 9th.
Yeah, no, my wife would kill me.
Yeah. I think a lot of people would try to kill you if you tried doing that.
Yeah, I got to give my body a little rest.
Absolutely. Yep. Jason, enjoy the health phase. Enjoy the baby making protocol. Focus on your health, and hopefully we'll get to talk to you next week.
All right, man. Thanks for having me.
All right. Thanks for watching, guys.